Welcome to the Inspiration for an Empowered Life podcast, sponsored by the Image Designers. They will help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. Now, here's your host, the Image Master, Holly Porter.
Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the podcast today. And we've got another one of the 40-40 rules, wisdom from 40 over, I can't even say it. Oh, anyway, part of our book. And Carolyn Cooper is our guest, and she was one of those 40 women that were in the book. So how are you today?
I am great. Thanks, Holly. Thanks for letting me be here.
Yeah, that's all tongue-tied. Oh, dear. Oh, I feel like it's Monday, but it's not. So a little bit about Carolyn. Her and I have been friends for a few years. We actually were raised, in the same city for a long time, but we never knew each other then. So when we moved to this new city, or when I moved here, then we connected, and she has just become a wonderful friend, and she is it's just a guru of energy healing world, and she's going to share all about that with us. And if you're new to that, you're going to learn a lot of inspirational things. And if you know what's going on, then you'll know how powerful she is. She's been teaching for 12 years. She has her own method called Carolyn Cooper's SimplyHealed Method. And she has one grandchild. And Yay! And she's so cute. I've seen pictures, but never seen her in person. So anyway, welcome. Anything else you want to share with the listeners?
Not yet. Let's dive in. Oh, and I have 5 kids, not just one grandbaby.
You do. And they're beautiful children. So
grown-ups.
Yep.
Almost all grown up.
You do. And she's got a great view behind that window there, but you can't really see it. But I've seen it. And the ones listening definitely can't see it, right? Unless they have superpowers. So speaking of superpowers, what are yours?
Well, this road of entrepreneurship and what I do is energy healing. I never had a plan that I was going to go into business, and it just unfolded really naturally. For me, I can't stand to see people struggle. I think if I had a superpower, as you say, it would be helping people see who they really are. I love helping people get connected to their best self. I know a lot of people say that out in the marketplace now, but really there's just something so rewarding and empowering about helping someone see their light that they may not have seen, they didn't know was as bright as it was. And doing energy work, that's what I sense and feel. That's the parts of me that I've developed. So for me, it's really easy to see somebody's light when I first meet them, even if they're in a, feeling sluggish or blocked or stuck or whatever it may be. It's oh, look at this and this. And then I just help them clear away those negative beliefs. And a lot of the beliefs we carry are subconscious. We're not even aware of them. So once those are out of the way, we have such a better vision, a clearer vision of who we are and where we fit in the world and what's possible for us.
Definitely. I think beliefs, people, it really runs your life,
Oh yeah.
Instead of you running your life, your beliefs run your life. And I agree. I think you do see the best in people and see that light in them and bring it back. What do you feel like is the most powerful thing that most people tell you, after you've worked with them? What do you hear the most?
Oh, well, what I hear the most is, I feel so light.
Yeah.
I feel unburdened. I feel so much lighter because literally, this is vibrational work that we're doing. So if you've got love up here, love, gratitude, peace, joy, and those are all super high vibrations. And then you've got despair and confusion and doubt and fear, anger, jealousy, whatever, all those heavy sluggish, slower emotions. They literally are heavy. They weigh us down. They weigh on our spirit. So if I have a session with someone and we clear out a lot of those old heavy emotions, of course they're going to feel lighter.
Well, and I think you don't even have to be intuitive to see or feel when you're around somebody who has that heaviness to them, you know?
Oh, yeah. We all have that. We always pick that up. It's just, are you aware that you have that, or are you not? And like you notice when you walk in a room if there's some weird tension, or we all feel that. So what I teach in my courses is really the beginning, before we even get to the courses, is just being aware of that.
Right.
Some people have it a lot stronger than other people.
Where I've noticed it the most myself is in selling real estate and going out and being in all these different strangers' houses and homes. I like to call them homes, but some aren't homes. Some are just houses. You feel that energy when you walk in. And it's interesting. My favorite thing to do is to pick out the story that's in the house, because everybody has a story. And if they live there, it's a lot easier because of the pictures on the wall and the feeling and what's going on. You can get the dynamics. A lot of times I can tell if it's a single parent raising kids. It's just interesting. So there's always this story. And so it always intrigues me. But I also like to hear who I'm taking through the house, the client, what their response is and what their feelings are, because I think we all have it, intuition. It's just, how do we tap into it, and how do we get better with those skills? What would you say?
Oh, with the intuitive skill. I was so drawn into, I was visualizing while you were talking, like walking through a house and a new buyer coming in. And sometimes that energy is a mismatch. And they're like, I like this house, but there's something about it. It's the energy. And the houses can be cleared if there was a nasty divorce there, or if it's mourning the loss of a large family that moved out, that energy is in the walls of the home, and that can be cleared. And
the furniture, there's something, okay, let me just say this, totally off subject, but when I've yard sold or I've gotten to a secondhand store and brought something home, everything has energy in it. And talk about that for a minute. Wouldn't you clear something that somebody else had in their home or their space? You bring it into yours, you're bringing all of that in.
Yes.
Yeah. So explain that.
Well, unless it's a good energy. I have several antiques in my home that came from my husband's side of the family. His parents, most of his grandparents, and maybe some of them are older than that. I'd like to know the history on all of them, and I don't. But they feel really comfortable in my home. It feels like family in my home, because it is, even though it's my husband's family, that's my family.
Yeah.
So the same techniques that I use to clear energy with a real live person, you can do that on homes and businesses and furniture and whatever, because everything's.
And you told me at one time, even land, clear what's holding the land, because especially if it's inherited land or homes, either way, there's different energy, and sometimes the ancestors don't want you selling that, or there's something going on, and we've talked about that before too. So I know to some of the listeners that's probably woo woo for them or way out there. It's true.
Kind of went a little woo woo there.
I know we did, but reeling it back in, let's go back to intuition. How would you say to someone who goes, I've had that, or deja vu, or what would you say they could do to enhance that skill?
Yeah, great question. I would say the first thing is start paying attention to that. Get a little notebook. I tell people, get a lot of notebooks. Put one by your bedside, one in your car, and one in your purse, or your European man bag if you're a guy, whatever it is.
Right.
Write down those little thoughts that come to you. I almost always follow through on something that's just a intuitive hit. Sometimes it seems really illogical. Here's an example. I was at the store the other day, And I was walking by, I saw a cheesecloth. I'm like, oh, I should buy some cheesecloth. And I'm like, why? Like, I never used cheesecloth. What would I use that for? I don't know. And I thought, but you know what? I always pay attention to my intuition. I'm always glad when I do.
Right.
And this time I went, maybe that's just my head making that up. I don't know. I'm not going to get it. I mean, it was like, and then within a week, something came up and I'm like, if I only had some cheesecloth, this project would work.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Like, oh, I got myself on that thing. But yeah, pay attention to that and write it down. Like, just make little notes. And if you follow through on it, like a lot of things are just, we have so much stimuli and we have a million thoughts going out of our head all the time. But the ones that you notice, either make a note or follow through on it, or both. And you'll notice when you start following through on those, how much smoother your day goes, or your week goes, or your life goes. Yeah. Because you're giving credence to that. And I think that your intuition goes, aha, she or he listened to, and we're going to give her some more stuff.
That's exactly where I was thinking. Yeah.
On that. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Kind of how it works. It's not that the bigger stuff isn't there. It's that we didn't notice it. We have to train ourselves to notice the little things, and then we notice the big things.
So it's really interesting that you're sharing that. Recently, somebody shared with me, and I love it. I was actually telling my mom and dad and I think it got my dad kind of emotional telling him this. She said to me that there is somebody who I look to like a mother figure, and I don't listen. Imagine. And that I need to pay attention more because she's here helping me in my life. Then she said she messes with me because she'll go and make my pictures on my wall crooked and do little things like that because she wants the awareness and she wants me to pay attention. And it's funny how she said it. I thought, I will never go straighten a picture on my wall. And I was telling my dad this because they have a lot of crooked pictures on this one wall where, my brother and sister-in-law are that have passed away. And it was sweet because I said, I'll never straighten a picture again without thinking, what's the message? Does this person in the picture want to share something? Pay attention. What do I need to know? Because it just made me look at it, and it totally could be irrelevant, but I thought it was cute. And my dad really, you could just tell it really made him think. I'll bet he'll think him and my mom, every time they go straighten a picture on the wall, they'll think, who's in that picture? And what, maybe they're just here. Maybe they just want to, it doesn't mean they have to have passed on. I just thought it was a cute little message for me to say, pay attention. Yeah. So you're right.
Yeah. It's all about just having an awareness and feeling okay having an awareness. And I know there are a lot of people that have gifts. I'm going to call them gifts. Sometimes they look at them as a burden if they're empathic, and a lot of people do not realize that they are. But I find this a lot with my clients who are working on losing weight, that they've kind of built this layer of protection around them and other people subconsciously, not even noticing it. And we get talking about, let's talk about if you have some gifts. So, because so many times, this is not for everybody, but it's happened so many times. People say, oh yeah, I do pick up all the time. Or if somebody's angry, it really upsets me. Like they can't differentiate that energy from theirs. And so I teach them tools, how to do that instead of using the weight.
Right.
You don't need the physical weight as a barrier. You just need some knowing of how to do that energetically.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and I've taken your course, so, yes. And it's wonderful.
You're very intuitive as well. So,
well, you do such a good job teaching it. And so anyone listening that is either new to energy work, and if you're not new to energy work, I had done, as you know, many modalities before, and, it's called Simply Healed for a reason. And I loved it because it was so simple. Like other things I had gone through and done, there's a purpose for everything. But when you find what works, and me, I'm an action taker, so I have to work fast. And
Yeah.
so that's why, and I know you are as well. That's why we get along so well. We both can like just go. But that's, you know, so if somebody's thinking about it, this is something, you have a 2-day, you have a 4-day, right? That you
Yes. Yeah. I have a certification program. And then I also, so many people want to learn the technique, but they don't want to open a whole business, and that's a whole different skill set. They're not ready to, you know, do online marketing or anything and do you know, formally take clients, but they want it for themselves and their family. So I do have a 2-day course that I offer.
Yeah. Well, and people don't realize that you can do so much of this work. I mean, most of your clients are probably on a video call like me and you are right now from anywhere in the world.
Oh, yeah. Or,
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize that they don't have to come in person. They can have this done, you know, over the call with the way the process works. And yeah.
Oh, yeah. I rarely, like, I haven't taken clients in my home office for years,
Right.
unless it's somebody in my neighborhood that I know really well. But yeah, most of my certified practitioners, they don't do live. It's just like coaching, you know, that's all over the phone.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just want to make sure our listeners understood that
yeah, it's not, with Simply Healed, you don't lie on a massage table and, you know, we sprinkle fairy dust on you or anything like that. It's like very conversational. It's just while you're talking, the practitioner is trained to feel and sense those certain emotions that come up and know where to go and what turns to take and how to follow the energy. It's very intuitive, but they know how to move that and clear that as the conversation is going on.
Right. So where would they go to learn more about what you do?
So come to SimplyHealed, HEALED, SimplyHealed.com. And then there's where you'll find all the information. I have a free Your Intuitive Gifts, a quiz you can take.
Speaking of,
we all get intuition from different ways, you know, like sometimes some people feel it in their guts. Some people have claircognition without knowing how they know. Some people actually hear things or see it in their mind. That's mine. I see it in my mind's eye. So we all get it different ways, and most of us use all of those ways, but we have one that's pretty dominant most often. So yeah, go to simplyhealed.com. You can take that free intuition test and see where you stand on that. And
I don't think I've ever taken that. Out of all the things I've done, I'm going to.
It's so fun.
Yeah. And well, you know me, I'm all about fun.
And I have a little online class that if they want to go further and take that short little online class, it's very cost effective. It's not a big investment or anything at all. It's like $47, I think. And that's Your Intuitive Gifts. And that goes into detail about each one of those and how they can develop each one. So that's super helpful for my clients. They love that. And I love it when they do that before they come to class too.
Then they kind of know.
They are ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah. I know one of my gifts are the gift of knowing, and people will say, how do you know? I'm like, I just know. It's not like I'm psychic. I just know. It's just that is a gift. And it took a long time for me to realize that's actually a gift, but I just know that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's an awesome gift too.
Yeah. Well, oh, I love that. Well, okay. I will post this link below. So anybody that is visually able to see it, they can see the link. And then simplyhealed.com. Is the gift on there?
Yeah, it actually right now it's like a pop-up. So if you're on any of my pages after, I don't know how long, 30 seconds or something, the box will pop up and you can just put your info in right there. I also have like a opt-in gift on there that if people don't know much about energy healing work or about my specific method, you can get a little 3-part audio series that'll explain more about.
Oh, that's a great gift. And those are so nice because, I mean, like I said, some people, I think there's a lot more awareness. You know, you were one of the pioneers that paved it in the beginning when nobody knew much about energy work, you know, and so you definitely are the leader in the industry, and so many people are learning more about it. But above all, yeah, that's why you have your own system. That was a great gift that you were given, and that you're giving that gift to other people and sharing it with the world. I love that.
Oh, thanks. I love what I do. It's fun it's so fun to hear people say, oh, I feel so much lighter.
Right. Yeah. It's well, and it's funny. I know I've told you this story and it's kind of comical, but my dad, he doesn't know anything about this stuff. But when I worked on him one time, he was having his eye kept watering, and I just kind of said, hey, can I, just work on you a little bit? And so I did, and it stopped. And within about hour and a half, when he was leaving my house again, because during that time it was doing better. We went to leave and he goes, hey, will you do that voodoo on me again? I go, voodoo? And I thought, who cares what you call it? The fact is, and it wasn't that he was a non-believer. He just wasn't educated, but he saw the power in it. And within just that short of time, he's like, can you do that again? I just thought that was
awesome.
Cute. Yeah.
Awesome. Yay.
Well, okay. Do you want to leave anybody with an inspiration or thought or something that can empower their lives more, since that's what our podcast is all about?
I'll leave with my favorite quote or thought, which is, never think less of yourself, but think of yourself less.
Oh, that is so powerful. I have to digest that for a minute. Yeah, I love that. That's is that your quote?
No, I heard it years ago, and I've tried to find the source of it, and I can't. I don't know where it came from. So whoever, sorry, I'm not giving somebody credit, but
say unknown.
A lot of different people have said it in a lot of different ways, but really good words to live by.
Yeah, so true. Yeah. Oh, yes, it is so true. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And anybody that has any more that they want to learn about Simply Healed, make sure you go to SimplyHealed.com, check it out, get your free gift. I know I'm going to do that. I already know how great you are, but it's fun. It's fun for review too. When you get all this information, sometimes you just get on information overload. So it's nice to be able to step back and take things in a little chunks at a time. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Inspiration for an Empowered Life podcast, sponsored by the Image Designers. They will help you look prosperous, feel prosperous, and be prosperous. You can learn more about them at theimagedesigners.com or email Holly at hollyporter.com.